Hi guys. So I was with a colleague of mine today, and then out of the blue, we just started discussing what we think God really needs from us. And so I'm asking you, what do you think God actually wants from us? You know, in the times we live in, I like that we're being exposed, and before we make decisions on anything, we ask to know about them. And so we started looking into the story of Adam. When we're talking about Adam, Adam was very comfortable living alone, many animals, many things. There was many things. But he was complete, he was whole. But then God felt that this man needed a companionship. Not that he wasn't fulfilled as an individual. He was already complete. But God felt that he needed somebody of his kind to just be there, not to complete him, because the man himself is already complete. And so he took the rib and created Eve for him, for the companionship. Not that she was going to complete this destined to him, not that she was going to complete him. That man was already complete. And then we went ahead and looked at um so we went ahead and looked at Jesus' story. That man was very humble despite being one of the greatest beings that have been the works of God. When you look at Jesus' story, he was humble. He started preaching at the age of 12. Um, at 33, that is when he died, isn't it? But he wasn't married. This person had gifts nobody has ever had. This person was able to treat the worst of diseases in man's history. This man was hated and loved in equal measure. He knew he was great and short, but still led a simple life. Despite knowing him being great, what does God really want from us? He was humble despite having all those things. He was unique. He was whole. And so we looked at ourselves, our lives, whatever is happening now, and we still ask ourselves, what does God really want? He brings us his only son, to help solving this situation. The son is very kind. The son is magnificent. The son is technically him in one way or the other, because he's a representation of him. He was there to help people out. But yeah, the son is the son. Great, the greatest man in history. That will always be the greatest person in history for me. Having all the capabilities and all the talents he has, he still leads a normal life. There wasn't any pressure until we got to talk about the story of marriage, companionship. Why are we being forced into marriage when maybe you're not yet ready? Now, marriage is a good thing. But then are we supposed to be in marriage to complete somebody, or you're supposed to get into marriage after you yourself is complete? Because I don't get why. I really wouldn't want to be described as, or I wouldn't want to describe somebody coming into my life to fill me. I'm supposed to be complete. I'm not supposed to be healing somebody else's trauma. Yes, we're supposed to go through life together. I mean, if there are troubles, we share them. Yeah. But I'm supposed to know myself first before I get to allow any other person in my space. Because if I allow in my space, you're coming to disturb my space. So I have to be ready to accept you in that space. So we're just thinking if we choose to get into there's nothing as fun as singlehood. And I'm not saying this out of contempt and anything, but because singlehood helps understand yourself. Singlehood helps you identify who you are. Singlehood helps you realize the capabilities that you have that you haven't identified. It's a time that is supposed to be for you. So nobody is supposed to come there and disturb you. So once the other person comes, finds this person is already fulfilled. So we're just here to do this thing together, produce and whatever. Yeah. But I'm not supposed to burden my other half with, you know, problems that were supposed to be there that I'm supposed to have healed from. And then I'm adding the problems to that person. That is making sense. So technically, we shouldn't be forced to get into relationships. We shouldn't be forced to do anything that we don't want to do. You know, you're only one of a kind. There's nobody else with this face of mine in this earth. There's nobody. That way, there's nobody with your face. Maybe if you're twins, but you're still unique. There's some individualistic characteristics, but you're still you, even if you're a twin or a triplet or a quad or octuplet or whatever. You're still you because you still have your own fingerprints. The blood can be the same, but fingerprints are not going to be the same. But it's just going to be you. So, what are you going to do with that time that you have here on earth? Like, how are you going to utilize that time? Are you going to wait for people to direct you what to do, or you're going to use that time to live your fulfilled life, just like Jesus led his? I mean, that man did everything with precision. He wasn't forced to do anything. He knew he had the power to do a lot of things. If he wanted to, he could have rebelled. I mean, he was old now and he had the power to do anything that he could have ever wanted, but still chose to lead his people, still chose to be there for his people, be there with his people. And for me, that is so rewarding in a way when you live your life to the fullest, when you know yourself, there's nobody that is going to come to your space to disrupt it. Okay, I don't even know the purpose of this video, but I think what I'm trying to say is that in the world we live in today, especially as women, we really have a lot of societal pressure. And all the men do too, but I can't speak for them, but I can speak for me. We have a lot of societal pressure. People see you, and I'm talking about things that I'm still experiencing and I've seen others go through. If you haven't done something by a certain age, I don't know, you're either getting old, you're being referred to old, leftover, if you, I don't know, they're there, biological clock, whatever. But then again, when you find women that have gone through them, they just advise you to be you. And then again, we have a lot of biological problems. So everything, I'm not a person who plans because anything can just, I always believe if I'm supposed to do something, I'll just do it. Okay, I have to plan for school because I have to teach. But when I'm talking about individualized plans, I don't force things. If I decide, if I feel like doing something and I'm capable of doing it, I just do it. I don't want to. I don't like being forced to do things that I'm uncomfortable with. Yep. I don't want to be forced to. I want to do it when I'll take my time and do it well, not because I'm forced in one way or the other. So my encouragement today is that let us learn to appreciate ourselves. Let us learn ourselves before we allow anyone into our space. Because if you're well aware of who you are, nobody will come into your space and tell you shit. Because how will somebody just come and tell you you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, when you know yourself, you're self-aware, you're holy, you're unique as you are. I mean, who does that? So there's the greatest gift that we can, or the greatest thing that we can ever do for ourselves is to appreciate us as we are, because we're unique and we're great and no one else is going to come in your face. Okay, maybe if you give birth and that child decides to look like, but it will never be your face, it will only be you. Like, it's just you. And we're just here for a limited time, and I wouldn't want to waste that time on any other thing other than focusing on me. The ancestors have already dealt with that time. It's our time. The future generation will also be theirs. I don't know. It may sound mean or egoistic or greedy, but come on, I'm only me. So what are you going to tell me that it's going to be so disheartening or discourage me from anything? What do you even know about yourself?